do you remember on Crosses to Bear why you ended up playing? I think Navigator.
Didn't you have somebody scheduled and they couldn't show up? And so I ended up in the
Exactly.
uniform. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we had. I don't remember who it was, but they called last minute and said we can't make it, and
Yeah.
you were there,
Yep.
and we just happened to have a shirt there, and you put it on, and I
Yeah.
thought that was cool.
I loved it, and it was fun for me because one of my favorite camera pictures I've ever taken is my vantage point from the seat, and I I took a picture of myself on the monitor, taking a picture of myself, kind of showing the
I don't
environment.
think
And
I don't think I've ever seen that picture.
I'll send it to you, but to me it's fun because it just shows what the camera can do in terms of making a scene look real. But it was fun to be on camera.
If
And
I remember correctly, in that scene, there was nobody sitting on side of you, was there?
I don't recall if there was. I think the shot may have just been on me. I don't
Yeah,
recall,
there.
but
I don't think there was
well,
anybody there.
actually, the shot probably was focused on you, and I just happened to be in it. I think in the
Well,
frame.
that was
So
actually Charles
that's right, Charles. Yeah,
Confirming
because
yeah,
that.
I wasn't in that,
that's
and
right. Because he was the first captain.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
we
Yeah.
kind of went back in time,
Yeah.
but I did the voiceover, Captain on the Bridge,
Yeah.
and uh, Bishop would have been there at that time, but I just uh, didn't think it was necessary.
Hmm.
So you were in that scene, and actually, that's the only scene you were in that,
Hmm.
and you didn't have any dialogue. You just kind of pushed buttons
Yep. Push buttons.
in the
Hopefully, I
right
did a good job at that. So.
yeah, in the right TOS way, because you see so many people playing the keyboard when they have those buttons like they're just
Yeah.
just a
Uh,
keyboard, and that's not how you push TOS buttons. But
right.
it's kind of surprising. Uh, Crosses to Bear dealt with it, it, it it's kind of gotten a strong reaction from some people, some good, some bad, but mostly good. And a lot of it is um, people reacting to the death of the kids, and I
Hmm.
know that's a hard thing to do, and it's a hard thing to watch because even when I watch it, I still get a little bit moved by the events of it.
Yeah.
And I remember Dan, when we shot that, Dan was the photographer on it, and he goes, "Well, do you want a close up here?" And we
Hmm.
didn't really use any close ups because I said no. I wanted to film it as if we're looking at it,
Yeah.
not because. And the reason I wanted to do it that way is because I felt like, from all the commercials I'd seen of kids with childhood cancer, they always struck me as very impersonal,
Hmm.
that we watch this and then once it's over we turn the TV off and it's over.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I wanted to go towards the vantage point of us just looking in their lives like we're watching them on television,
Hmm.
and it kind of, I thought, made this kind of disconnect to where we see it, we're sad, but it's not really registering with us. We don't really, once the TV's off, we're gone, and we
Right.
don't think about it.
Uh huh.
So Dan shot it from an angle of we're just watching, but
Hmm.
we're not really caring a whole lot.
Right.
So that's why we shot it that way, because a lot of people have asked me, well, why did you, there's no close-ups here and this and that.
Hmm.
It kind of just served as a disconnect to how we are disconnected from these kids.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like we see these kids all the time, but what do they think? Do they have dreams? Do they want to
Yeah.
be things?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's when you have the scene where she says, "I want to be a starship captain when I grow up,"
Hmm.
and that's kind of where it came from. But I've gotten a lot of response from parents who've had kids with cancer, and just about a week ago, one lady wrote and said, "This is the saddest story she's ever seen in Star Trek." And she liked it, and she said it was a reminder to her that not all problems can be fixed.
Yeah. Right. Uh huh.
And that was kind of, that's that whole situation. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of hope in that, so I kind of ended it on the hope that, yeah, maybe we can't save the kids, but at least we can carry on their legacy and let people remember them and what they wanted to be. And so that's why the doctor says, let me tell you all about them. The oldest one, I mean, that's how we keep them alive through
Yeah.
our experiences with them.
Yeah. We remember
And
that they're people too.
yeah, just because they're gone, they're not, they were here. They had
Right.
dreams. They wanted to be something. And it's kind of strange because as much as that lady, she was really sensitive. And if you ever read the comments on that, some of them are really kind of sad.
Hmm.
But she just said, it's a reminder to her that, we can't fix all things.
Right.
And but at the other spectrum, someone sent this long comment on why they didn't like the film, and that they don't watch entertainment to be depressed.
Yeah.
They
Right.
want to leave that reality. And I just read the comment, and I'm just thinking, I think we do need reminders of stark, straight reminders of how the world is.
I agree. Yeah. And I
I
think,
mean,
I mean, you're touching on a very real experience in being human beings, the loss of loved ones and everything else. So, um, if everything is unicorns and rainbows, you're not going to get much out of
well,
it.
a-
So,
and uh, I understand film can be used for escapism because
right.
sometimes you do just want to watch a film
Yeah,
and 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 forget about things. And but most of the time when I see a film, I'm choosing the film that I want to see, so I
that's
kind of know
right.
what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna want to go see a World War II film when I want to be uplifted.
right. Yeah.
So
Uh,
and then Brady, sometimes I want to watch a drama. I want to be
right.
sad. I want to see how what some people go through.
Well, it's like, sometimes, you know, uh, for example, if something's sad in life and maybe you're relating to it, but sometimes you just pop in Star Trek 2 and just take what that story has to offer. Maybe there's some comfort there. It's got a lot of great stuff that deals with death and losing friends or loved ones.
Yeah.
Facing that no win scenario. What's that like? So
I just kind of see it as, all of us are going to have to face death,
yeah,
either, our death or the ones we love. And,
yeah,
and, I dearly love many of my family members that are no longer here.
yeah. I
And,
just recently lost an uncle within the last couple of weeks, and it's just it's a to see something on film or whatever, it's a reminder that we need to cherish everything. Uh, I know a lot of fans aren't huge fans of the Star Trek Generations, but I think that movie has a really good theme running through it. About how we appreciate the time that we have. Because we won't get it back. And I think, recent loss of my uncle, I'm grateful because we as family did a lot of trips together, and we spent a lot of time together. I come from two very close families. So um, it's a great thing to have those memories to reflect on, and even though we may lose a character on screen or in a film or whatever, it's, depending on the film or however it's presented, it's a good reminder for us to cherish the things that we have in life. Um,
yeah, I didn't know you had lost an uncle. I'm sorry to hear that.
oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. So I know it's been we've been talking about a lot of other different things lately, but yeah, it's to have a show and have something that can touch on a very real human experience is important. I'm not gonna, you know, with something like this in life, you're not always going to want to sit down and watch a comedy or whatever. Sometimes you need to reflect on things in
Well,
life.
I,
So
I've always felt that Crosses to Bear is a voice for those children,
yeah,
because I often feel like they don't have voices. That,
right.
just because they're sick doesn't mean that they don't dream, and that
Hmm.
they don't want to be an astronaut, or they don't want to be a police officer, or I
Right.
mean, lots of times their lives are cut short, but that doesn't mean that their imagination is that
Right.
they're
Yeah.
human just like us. And
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to it's kind of strange how outside inspiration, kind of makes you want to do a story like this.
Yeah.
I knew that it was going to be a divisive story. I mean,
Sure.
and I remember, when we were making the film, of course, we had Scott, Richard, Wolf, and Dan there.
Hmm.
And Wolf told me, he said, Wolf was actually the first AD on that.
Yeah.
And I actually asked him to be first AD because he had done it before. And I felt like,
Hmm.
well, this is the first film I'm doing. So I need some help, you know.
Yeah.
So he said, we were talking about it. He goes, a lot of people aren't going to like this film.
Hmm.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, kids dying, a lot of people are just not going to like it. He said, my wife, she's not even going to watch it. She
Yeah.
can't stand anything that kids die in. So she's not even
Right.
going to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never really thought about that, but I think he's probably right
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
a lot of people are turned off by it because it's kids dying. That's just something that's hard to deal with,
Yeah. It really is.
especially.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's amazing how a story will affect you before you have kids versus when you do have kids.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh-huh.
when I first saw Aliens and the character Newt was on there.
Uh-huh.
And of course I liked Newt. I felt bad for her. But after I had kids, you can't see it takes on a whole different life because you just
Yeah.
automatically put yourself in your kids there and how you would feel and all that. And it's just
Yeah. I remember, I think it was Spielberg, when he did Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The dad in that movie ends up going on the spaceship and taking off with the aliens. And, I think Spielberg, after he had kids, realized, that that's an element of the story he would have changed because basically the dad left his family, and, it really is the contrast between,
did that have anything to do with why he changed the guns in ET to
I
walkie talkies because of kids?
well, I think so. Yeah, I think that was his philosophy behind it, and even I think George Lucas, when he did the Star Wars prequels, he said he kind of changed his tune and said that the Star Wars films were made for kids, and if you've ever read any of the early drafts of the Star Wars scripts, they're not kids movies, So it's kind of funny how things change as the older you get and you start having kids and everything because you
Yeah,
do you feel responsible for the next generation. So
yeah,
yeah,
it really is kind of uh eye opening because you'll have actors, comedians who are just raunchy,
yeah,
but as they grow older and have kids, they change.
yeah,
They become a lot more mellow. They go from raunchy comedy to family films,
right,
and it pretty much it doesn't work a lot of the times. But they feel a responsibility once they get kids. They're like, no, I don't want a kid seeing that. No, I don't want.
yeah,
No,
right,
so kids do change you.
yeah, yeah,
But I'm everything we've made, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of Crosses. I'm proud that some people watch it and they're just touched.
yeah,
I've seen emails from grown men that'll write and say, this is really sad. It really touched me. It really, I went through this with my and and I never really thought about it from that angle. And so,
hmm,
it's really kind of nice, really, in a way. And of course, everything you make, not every is it can be the best film in the world and make $1 billion, but there's going to be people out there that think it sucks.
well,
So
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't be everything for everybody. It's just
yeah,
the nature of human experience. So, but that's the beauty of it too, is that even if you do come across people who hate what you've done or dislike it for whatever reason, you can be grateful that there's diversity of thought. At least there's
yeah.
different takes on everything. So
Well, my thing is, if they don't like it, I'm still appreciative that you watched.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
thank
right.
thank you for watching. I'm sorry you didn't like it,
Yeah.
You know, what else can you do? I'm not gonna, and I've seen filmmakers online who will make a film, and someone will say, "Well, this I didn't like this," and they'll get so involved in trying to defend the film and arguing with the people, and I've seen it go on
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
What is the point? You're not
Yeah.
going to win any fans by, being that way.
Right.
The
Right.
person, it's simple. Tell the person, I'm sorry you didn't like the film. Thanks for watching, though. I really appreciate that, and move on. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy.
Maybe next time you'll like the film I make, or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm not going
So
to mention the guy that made the film, but this guy went on for the entire thread defending the film and then arguing with the people watching it and all that. And I'm just thinking, so useless, man. That is just so
the
useless.
waste of time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why would you even want to do that?
Right. Yeah. At least be, grateful that art that you produce is getting eyeballs on it, and people are
Yeah,
discussing
I
it,
mean,
or
I,
one way or
I've
the
seen
other.
some. Yeah, I've seen some harsh comments, and I'm just like, thanks for watching. I
Yeah.
mean, what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with somebody through a keyboard that I don't even know. I mean,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to argue with people. I don't want to argue with people I know, let alone somebody I don't know.
Right. Right. So yeah. Yeah. It's the thing. Hope next time, hopefully they like the other stories we produce, or at least, so.